So Beverly spoke a little bit about the concepts, what is AI, what the language models, and I'm here gonna wear two hats, okay? I'm gonna wear the hat of the user and the hat of the lawyer, because I need to think about that, and I want you to think about the legal consequences of using AI as well. And like I said to all of you, like AI changed my life. I've been working since 2023. I started with a legal software because they had this case about the lawyer who was sanctioned and they had to pay, and his license was, suspended for a while. So I have to be, I know that, and that can happen to me. So I have to be careful. So I started with a legal software. And then I was paying like $500 a month for the software because they say they're going to keep your information protected and blah, 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 blah. But the software was horrible. I went back to ChatGPT and I canceled my contract with this legal software. So I had to do those little tricks to trick ChatGPT because I cannot put the client's name confidential information of clients. So I had to learn that on my own skin, and that's what I'm going to try to share with you today. So I always like to start with this chart, okay? So are you afraid of AI or just a change? I was with Beverly last week at an Innovative CLA dinner, and there was this speaker. He was talking about like how my career started in the 90s with the internet 1.0. And we are like able to be in two waves here during our existence, the internet and AI. And that's amazing. I don't know if any other generation, he was saying, was able to have those two during a lifetime. So we started with the web 1.0. What was that in the 90s? It was only research. It was an encyclopedia. When I was in school, I was researching like in the encyclopedia. So that's what the internet was when I was in law school. Then came the web 2.0 was social. So I have another person on the other side of the screen talking to me. We share content, we share images, text, books, we share everything. What happened? Now web 3.0, everything that we put out there was used by these models to train the model, what we call large language models. So they scrapped everything from the internet, and that's what forms their brain. Okay, so that's why it hallucinates. Because a lot of people talk about a bunch of things they don't know about it. We had the fake news before. So even fake news are being used in here. So that's why I need to be careful, when you use AI. So I think I like to make this distinction so it's clear where this content that the large language models use come from, okay, from everything that is out there. First, you need to think about security and confidentiality. Okay, because I'm a lawyer, so I cannot disclose information. And everything that you put on I'm going to talk mostly about generative AI, okay, which is ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude. What you can find your own tool because the way they speak to you is different, and you have to feel which one you feel more comfortable with. I use a little bit of everything sometimes. But I am always like, I got used to ChatGPT. I'm not selling ChatGPT for you guys. That's what I got used to, so that's what I use. And the security features that I'm going to show to you that I use is from ChatGPT, and you can find in any other app that you might be using. So, about security and confidentiality. On settings, make sure you disable model training and data sharing features when possible. Okay, that's a very important setting thing. Make sure, because they're going to be automatic and they're going to share information and use the information you put out there to train the model. Avoid sharing confidential or sensitive information in AI tools. Use your data wisely. Okay, I don't share names. Sometimes if I want to tell a story, I put the initial of so I know when I go back who I was going to talk. So I give names to my characters when I'm writing, let's say, a motion or a contract. So I come up with things that I can remember name after who is who, and I don't share something that I couldn't be sharing. Okay. Review AI providers' policies regularly. They sometimes can use your data and information to train models. That happen a lot with Instagram. Just like a comparison, because when you have a public profile on Instagram, in the terms and conditions, you are giving to them all your image and content. They can use for whatever they want. Okay, is nobody reads? but they can. So make sure you read the terms and conditions to see how they are using your data and how you're using everything that you put out there. Give general instructions to AI to avoid hallucination and set the tone for the conversation while you're prompting. Okay, that's, you have to think that you're talking to an assistant. Okay, don't think, oh, give me this. No, the answer is not, if you tell to an assistant, give me this, the answer is not gonna come. I need this. So make sure you are very specific. I was yesterday talking to a client. I'm in California. I'm going to share some examples. So you need to be specific. And also I asked ChatGPT how it's possible for you to avoid hallucinations when I'm working on my cases. And they gave me the instructions. So that's what Beverly was saying. It's conversational. You have to ask questions. Think you are talking to a person. Okay, AI note takers. I see that a lot of my clients, when they set the link to send me the video link for the meeting, I always come with the AI note takers. I say, remove this, please. I'm not going to start talking. Why? Because they're sharing your information. Everything that we are talking is going to be shared with train the model, is going to be out there. So I don't want to record. And also to record the conversation, you need a permission of the authorization from the other person. So that's the same thing. So here's some safe tips that I use for ChatGPT. Like if you go on the settings, see there's like improve the model to everyone, I turn it off. Okay, so I don't know if they're gonna follow, and at least I can sue ChatGPT something happened, but I use those settings. Okay, and also you can customize ChatGPT to have the language that you want to. So I tell ChatGPT, my name is Natalia, I'm a lawyer in California. Why? Because we have states laws and we have federal laws. So when I talk to ChatGPT, I want ChatGPT to know that I am in California. Or if I'm not in California, I'm going to change that. Okay? You can say a personality. What traits should ChatGPT have? Use professional tone. That can be something annoying sometimes, because if I ask something not professional, ChatGPT, you ask me to use the professional tone, so I cannot come up with this answer. But don't use emojis. I hate emojis. And you can tell when a person is using ChatGPT to post on LinkedIn. There's like a lot of emojis all over the place. Okay? That's what's my best one. Don't make up things you don't know and say you don't know when you don't know. And it says that. It's going to tell you. Also, probabilities. You can ask, like, are you working on a probability, or you're telling me this for sure? And please, if you don't know, say, I don't know. It's like talking to a kid, okay? When citing cases in law, always mention the phone. Doesn't mean that it's not hallucinate, but at least I'm getting some guidelines for ChatGPT to don't hallucinate. Another safety tip that I like, I don't know if you ever noticed, because ChatGPT has this layout, and there's this little box here. It's not appearing. I think I cut it. But there's a little, looks like a conversational box here in the corner that leads you to this temporary chat, which say, this chat won't appear in your history, use or update ChatGPT's memory, or use to train our models. For safety purpose, we may keep the copy of this chat for 30 days. If that's real, I don't know.
It's 6:10. What time do you want to air?
I think 6:15 or 5 to 10 minutes, so we have a little bit to. So I use that. Doesn't mean they're not gonna use their information. Make sure you don't share what's confidential and you don't want it to be out there. So Beverly also spoke about prompting and prompt engineering. ChatGPT is not Google. I want to research this. Go to Google. Google might be even better. ChatGPT is conversational. So you need to, prompt engineer is a skill. And even ChatGPT, they have courses how to make prompts. So they adopt a role, give context, set expectations. Okay? You need to tell what you want, because in order to get a good result. So I say, I'm a lawyer. I have my own law firm in Los Angeles, so he knows where I am. My client asked me to draft a cease and desist letter to address copyright infringement because someone used my client's photograph for commercial. My client is in California and apply California law. Also, you should describe facts and applicable law without specifying parties' names and confidential information. You can edit that later. Okay, so I give context. Tell everything you want from the tool. And set a role. I'm a lawyer. Give context, what happened, what I want, and what I want. The cease and desist, and it's going to come the first draft. And then I'm going to start working on it. It's like asking us to draft this, and then it's gonna come back with something. Think of as write instructions to an assistant. You can ask also AI or ChatGPT or whatever to use to refine your prompt. Like, I don't know how to make this prompt. Help me here. And it's gonna start asking, and it's gonna narrow down the prompt, and it's gonna help you with the prompt. Okay, now just one second. Yeah, so no, I skipped this one. So there are safe tips to avoid hallucination. You can ask ChatGPT how, because you each here work in different fields. And my field is one type of hallucination, and your field could be other type of hallucination. So you can ask ChatGPT how avoid hallucinations on my field. So that's my instructions, but you can do your own. And I even asked ChatGPT for help when I did that. So a little bit about understanding intellectual property in AI, that's huge, because what happened is we already had a few cases. Those are the first ones, okay, using generative AI and ChatGPT and for copyright infringement and patents, whatever. The copyright law, patent law, established that in order to have intellectual property, a patent or a copyright, you have to have the work needs to come from the human mind. So just to give an example what that means, the first case, like from a long time ago, was a monkey taking a selfie, and they tried to register the picture of the monkey taking the selfie, and the copyright office said no, this was not created by the human mind, it was a monkey. A monkey is not a human, so no copyright. Here's the same, okay? So if you use generative AI only prompting to write or to create an image, a video, you are not gonna have copyrights, okay? So this is an image called Entrance in Paradise, was the first case decided by the Copyright Office. The author, which is Toller's right, is the author, the computer, and the Copyright Office said no, computer cannot be an author, so you don't have copyright. This was a comic book in which the Copyright Office canceled the copyright registration because they found out that those characters were created using generative AI. So they say no, if it was not created by the human, we are not going to have copyright. Okay, why should you care about that? And the same for patents, since you can tell me more she can speak more about patents than me, because I don't work with patents. But for patents and copyrights, needs to be created by human mind. What does that mean? It doesn't mean that only because I use generative AI, I cannot have a copyright or patent. But it's gonna depend how much the human has interaction with that result of the patent or the copyright. So in Anna's case, we work with books. If I just translate a book with generative AI, I cannot get copyright unless there is this interaction, and that's very important. Why should you care about that? Because if you have a copyright or a patent, you have rights. You can sell, you can make money with your idea. Once you cannot get a copyright or a patent, the work loses its value. Everybody can copy. So especially here in Hollywood, imagine if we start using AI and there's no human interaction with the result of the movie or whatever, it's gonna lose its value, everybody can copy. And you have to prove how much your interaction was, if there was human interaction of the result. Also,
can you talk a little bit more about what this interaction really means? Because we interact with AI.
If there is no formula.
The prompt doesn't count. Okay.
Now, if you just prompt, I need an image of a cat on the snowboard, and then comes the image, no copyright. If you went to a software and and start working on the software, and then I don't know how, I'm not creative, but there's no formula. Someone asked me, I was teaching a class a few weeks ago, and they asked me, oh, how much interaction? Is there a formula? It's going to be case by case, and you have to prove. So one thing that I suggest is always make sure you have the copies or whatever interaction you had with the result of the AI, so you can prove that there is enough human connection with the work.
And the laws are going to, everybody's talking about this now. So there's a lot of conversation around, the last time we had any kind of digital laws was in the 90s, the DCMA or whatever. And so I think we're going to see more legislation, but it's going to take time.
Yeah, but it's already solidified that if you only prompt and create something with generative AI, you cannot get a copyright for that. That's because the law says that the work needs to be by a human mind. So another thing you need to think about, name, image, and likeness, rights of publicity, defamation, and privacy. There's a lot of apps out there. I can use the voice, someone's voice. I can use someone's image. I can put on my face. That could be a violation of infringement of rights of publicity, use of someone's name, image, and likeness for commercial purpose, which is not allowed, especially here in California. We have very strict laws regarding that. Defamation, if it's the case, or rights of privacy, if I'm using someone's image and putting them in a false light or something that they don't want to know. So be very careful about this. That comes with the deep fakes. You probably heard about that. Like there was Trump was involved in a deep fake, Taylor Swift, and there is even new law regarding that. Just a little bit of AI and contract drafting. That's very important. Of course, AI can draft a contract for you if you're not a lawyer, but it's not going to be addressing your needs. And you need to be very careful. I use AI. I use AI to draft clauses. Sometimes if I need to, to write something. But because contracts involve venue, applicable laws, what's your need. So you need to think about legal strategy before doing anything. Be very careful when drafting contracts with AI. And if I want one takeaway for this entire conversation we had yesterday, AI is a tool, not the truth. Okay? AI is the beginning of your work. It's something to help you. It's a start of your work, not the end. Because once you work in AI, I can give you the draft, okay, that's gonna brainstorm ideas, but you have to work on with it. So AI is a tool, not a replacement. You must ensure accuracy of the information provided by AI. AI like hallucinates, can lie, can tell a bunch of things. You can try to avoid that. Protect confidentiality and avoid risky disclosures, setting features, respect intellectual property, name, image, and likeness, publicity rights, boundaries. Guide AI with structured prompts and give instructions to AI to reduce hallucination. Always verify and double check outputs. Don't make sure it's because AI said doesn't mean it's true. Okay, you have to go back, do your own research. AI is created by humans. If humans make mistakes, the machines can make them too. Especially after I told you that they use all the information that was out there on the internet. Do not trust or accept as truth what AI says. Corroborate with primary sources. Go and you do your own research. Use AI as a starting point. Go deeper. AI output is the start of your work and project, not the end. So. Thank you, and I think we have 10 minutes for practice.